moment I don't have my other car. I've only got a small one I'm using of my wife's, and I've been commissioned to paint this beautiful garden here, Victoria, of a new client who just bought 3 of my paintings, and this is the scene I want to do, taking in these lovely pine trees on the right, the whole of this garden, the path, and these leaves come in on the left to help fill up the sky. But let's take a look at the garden she's produced here. It's been done only in 1 year. She's created all of this in 1 year, which is amazing. Designed it herself, planted it herself, had this lovely little greenhouse built, and isn't it gorgeous? I mean, to do this in 1 year is an incredible feat, I think. Very nicely designed and ideal for the artist as well. So it's a privilege and pleasure to come and paint for her here. Even more so as she likes my work, and I've seen a few compositions that I like, not just this one. There's some beautiful hollyhocks just around the corner that I'll show you that I hope to come and paint later as well. Sweet peas just coming up there. What a lovely garden, isn't it? Coming through here, a nice little veg garden as well. Isn't that superb? Makes my garden seem silly now after seeing this. These beautiful white delphiniums. Plus, what I want to paint in the next few days, this marvellous array of hollyhocks here. I'm thinking that about here will make a nice composition. Well, I'm going to set up here under the shade, so it's better for me for the light on the canvas and also better for you to see the canvas. I've got this lovely garden to have a go at. It's a hell of a challenge. I've got to work out this lovely composition first of all, because I just want all these shapes to fit perfectly one to another and within this rectangle. So I'm going to start off with a small filbert and just a light colour, just work out the composition first with the acrylic. Just remind myself of the composition first of all. Even these grasses in the foreground will be rather nice. What a pleasure to paint this anyway, so make myself comfortable from one of the garden chairs. Luckily I've got that. My chairs are still in my other car, and a selection of brushes, so just wanting to work things out with it first. I think a little filbert will do nicely, and we'll use maybe a Naples yellow, a bit of white just to start off. And let's see what we've got then in this way of composition. We want some of that roof in. I want what's going to come where. I'm going to have to move things around a bit to get the composition I want. I really want to get a nice pattern and shape into here. But this is so well designed that every single place you look there's something lovely to see. One, two, three, four. Beginning to see it forming now. I can see wood for trees, as they say. Yes, it's beginning to come together. Almost there. Well, I think we've about got the composition. It's just going to be a matter of starting now. These are coming in quite large. beautiful colours happening here, just got to find them. if I teach you that method, you won't even have to worry about the drawing as long as the composition is basically what you want, and we can use mechanical things for that. We can use a piece of card framing just to look through and see what we want. But once you start to enjoy colours, once you see it's like this box of paints here, it's the box of Sweeties, when that's all full of new paint. And the boxes of pastels I've got are the same. They're just such lovely colours, you can't resist picking them up and using them.
Yeah. Well, it's incredibly vibrant already, isn't it?
Well, yeah, this is what we want to get, to find the vibrancy of one colour against another. And even these little touches of colour now, each colour hue, every single colour has a hue, every single colour is warm or cool. So a yellow can be a warm yellow or a cool lemon yellow, or a more, you see here, that's a warm yellow, that's a cool yellow. And the blues, that's a much warmer blue than this one, which is a cooler blue. So we've got to play the opposites in the colour circle as well. So we're playing reds next to greens, we're playing purples next to yellows. To make things more vibrant, we're playing light next to dark, we're playing rough next to smooth. All of these things are different arrows for a bow.
Yeah, well,
Right, we'll tidy up. Well, I think that's done enough for this morning. It's now 1:15. I've got to get back for a telephone call. Well, that's the first 3 hours on this work, and I'm going to get back as soon as I can find the time, and there's more sunshine. I do need the sunlight now for this. At least I've established where everything is, so I can really start to push the colours now. Well, here we are back again at the gardens to try and finish this painting off. Unfortunately a bit late because Rosie had an appointment with the doctors, so But let's see what we can do. One of the first things I want to do is just straighten up these angles here a bit. What happened was I've tilted them slightly more than they should be. That's a bit better. So what I've got to do now is come back into there and just lighten up these areas between. It's very strange at the moment because I've just had a hearing aid fitted in my left ear, so I'm suddenly hearing differently in one ear as to what I was doing. That yellow in fact should be coming. And these are the effects I've got to get when working in nature here, when working plein air. I can get these effects now before that sun changes too much. It'll help. It's really bright sunlight today and I want to pick that up into the painting now. I haven't got the clouds that we had the other time, but so we've got a lovely light sky breaking through these leaves. I have to use a bigger brush because I've got to cover more area here now than there was up here before. It's a lot lighter. Take a big brush. And I've got to come into this blue now with this glorious blue pink going on. Quite different to the other day. And I'll have to bring some of the leaves across again into this. Warm, cool greens next. As the green comes out amongst it here. Light leaves that are happening through here. The greens and the yellows and the beautiful colours that are happening. We've got the lights in now, I've got to go back into these darks a bit more. Really so much to change and find out about coming up through here. These lights and darks and the colour hues of different greens are fantastic. We need to find these to really get this light and dark working here. There's this lovely cross between the light blues and the warmer blues up into here today. Beautiful, beautiful colours, but awkward just to match them. It's got to be a semi-impressionist piece today, I think, to even try and get there. Some wonderful things happening out here, but trying to get these colours right. Lovely light, sunshine colours. I need to find to here there's light that's coming through the sunlight. Now I'm just starting to get where I want to get, I think. Some of these lighter reflections, I've got to pick them up by really looking and observing, and these lovely greens, yellow greens that are going on here. Beautiful lights happening through the background. Lovely strong colours of sunlight. Right down and through into these. That's better. I've got to get right underneath them to see. And the sun has moved around so far, it's not easy to see what's happening in here. And purer colours, how we can really start to add in these lovely greens that are really standing out and turning this painting into a three-dimensional effect of light, if we can. And that orange yellow is actually coming down into these leaves here, if I can get warmer, I can get it. Quite warm into some of these leaves just here. Even these trees back here have a bit more warmth and the light shining through, and especially up here, there's actually quite a warm green coming up into there. And suddenly things start to come together once I can start to balance all of these colours one to another. These strong, much stronger light and darks going on now down into here, because I want this sunshine effect, and I've got to get it by placing the opposites in colour circles and hues and so on, as well as these very strong opposites of lights and darks going on, which is starting to feel the lights and darks, and the warms and cools, and there's bits of light coming through right up into here. The cools again against that, so we've got to keep playing the warms. If we've got cools going on in there, I need to bring those out as well. Beautiful darks against the lights here. There's this fir tree, this pine tree comes out and through there. Keep looking and looking and looking and adjusting and getting it right. Nearer and near to the effects that I want. Sun's just coming round onto the canvas now, which I didn't have before. I may have to try and move the canvas back even a little bit so that I can do about that. If I can do that, I don't know whether I can or not. I'm sure we'll see. Maybe just if I can go against the branches a bit, pushing it forward. That's better. We'll have a go. There we go. I need to come in a bit closer. Warm sap green coming up into here. Hello, dog. Hello, boy. Not really interested, I'm not really. That's a bit of a poo behind me, dog, this smelly animal. It wasn't what I needed. Just your opinion on my painting, is it? It dries out quick in the sun. Doesn't smell as bad. Alright, I'm just starting to get the light now. Here now. Well, thank you very much. And with the varnish, it will bring those colours right out. What do you think? Coming?
Looks fantastic to me.
Just got to really pull out these flowers now, and one or two colours. That's all it needs just to start bringing things out now. Let's really start to find these. Oh, it's just weird having this hearing aid. Find these colour like that. You see, it makes just one stroke. I've got to find all these little bits that will just bring each colour out like that. It makes such a difference. It just brings it to life. That's what we're doing now, is painting with light. This is the bit I love, because this now is just literally painting with light. I mean, if I take some of this light cream over here against those pinks, just look what happens. Gorgeous, isn't it? This is the fun bit, you know. This is where you all enjoy painting with me. You know, with a palette like that, and you just let yourself loose. All these little highlights now, we can just gradually bring them out and let the garden do the... He's on a lovely garden. I mean, that's just, now that's coming on, isn't it? Just these last strokes now, I reckon half an hour or so, and I might almost have this one in the bag, I hope. A bit of pure white there as well. Can't use black and white too early. Black, you can't go blacker than black, you can't go whiter than white, so I have to leave these colours right till the end. Try and just bring this three-dimensional, the sunlight. It's all coming together suddenly. It's just a lovely time. It's a joy to paint, so thank you for inviting me as well. It's
no problem at all. Right, I've got...
That you get on, yeah. Thank you for that drink. It's very most kind.
I'd rather be gardening. Mind you, it's a bit warm for gardening.
It's a bit hot. Yeah, evening better for that, I think, yeah. Just comparing now the different lights and darks through and cools and warms, just to try and get these last effects of light. We're coming on to our last colours, I think, now, and just putting in some of these much warmer greens, these darker greens amongst this, to really capture the light and dark best we can. Now, I didn't hit the very deep colours last time, the blacks and things, so I just want to come into this now with some of the darker colours to really bring out the deep colours that I've already used. This should make them stand out, just using pure black at the very end, and I don't use it much, but if I do use it, I've got to save white or pure black to the very end, because I can't go whiter than white and I can't go blacker than black, so I've got to reserve it for these final darks, especially in the foreground, just to really draw it forward. Are we about there? I think we must be nearly there, you know. Must be nearly there. Just a little bit of black, I think, up into some of these branches, maybe. Maybe I need to give a bit more warmth to the sky. I'm not quite happy with that sky. Maybe it's difficult because I've got the light shining over it, but I just want to take a bigger brush and just come back into that sky with a bit more warmth. I think it's time to go paint some hollyhocks because I'm going to overdo this and bouncing magenta back here. and coming into this lovely poppy here as well. Right, let's finish at that and go and see what these hollyhocks are doing. There we are. That's what we've got. Let's bring the painting out now so we can see it here by the actual scene. Well, that's this one taken to its conclusion, I think. I think I've gone far enough with this one. Right, now I finished this big painting, let's go ahead and go back through the gardens into her father's garden where he has some lovely hollyhocks. And we'll see if we can paint those as the evening light comes on, while I've still got a chance, because I gather that they're on their way out. So we'll just go through, and that's a nice blue canvas ready to go. And we'll come up to here, put a new battery in and see what we can do. So right through. To here. And there they are, white delphiniums, and behind the hollyhocks. See, everything's very dry and it's just finishing off, so we have to be fairly soon to get them. I'm hoping that we can get a nice composition across here. It looks it to me, it's what we can do. Well, now I've got to try and balance up here on these steps to get this view. I've no idea whether I should get in the way. You won't be able to see, but see what I can do. Oh,
a nice cold beer in here.
Well, that would be smashing. Thank you very much. I'll put that inside.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we are, set up in a curious position down these steps, and we'll have a go at this. So I'm just going to slap colour straight on, hope for the best. Lovely. I'm being supplied with a beer as well. It can't be bad, can it?
I don't find beer that conducive to working. It tends to
Loose brush
me
strokes.
down on a tea for the evening, you know. However, maybe you've got stronger willpower than me.
Well, as long as I can loosen my brush strokes up, won't it?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Right, okay.
Come out in about half an hour if you want to see what I'm getting on.
Okay, I will, yeah, sure.
It's a nice little quick piece, lively, not quite what I intended. I wanted to bring out the flowers a little more separately and in more slabs.
Right.
But it's just the way it's gone, and sometimes paintings go one way and they just take you with them. You can't always tell, which is a nice thing.
Sometimes it goes where it goes, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think it's quite fun as it is. So.
Yeah.